Man and
guys.
I say terrible things about people all the time. It's fine.
Hey, you never
So
know.
we'll edit it. I don't know. Maybe that'll make it now. Hi, and welcome to Filmmakers Compass Podcast, a show where we talk about movies and, well, more movies. I'm D-Man, joined by CP. And CP, how are you doing today?
Dude, I am psyched we're talking Batman today.
You are wearing a shirt that I really love because it has a Batman symbol and an American flag, which are both amazing.
I agree. That's what I thought.
So, well done. And CP, we've been talking about this for the last couple weeks, but I got to at least acknowledge that Notre Dame and the Bears both won. So we're in the win column, baby.
Finally, right?
It's my podcast, so I got to shout it out to the world. I'm so happy. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited. I'm going to get a chance to go see the Bears live in Vegas this weekend, so I'm pretty excited.
Dude, how exciting, man. Have a good time.
I know it should be pretty fun. But okay, so we are talking Batman, and that's really exciting. We'll get to that in a little bit. And we also have another surprise for everybody, which is going to be really cool. But until then, we're going to jump into our shout outs. And first up, we have Ivor, who messaged us and said, I have wondered about how small comedy has become in movies. Julian and I talked about it. We think that studios now need to watch how much stereotypes are shown. He references Long Duck Dong, Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's, but also studios wanting to spend 20 million, not 2 million, and wanting a star, which is kind of true. I think last week we really sort of acknowledged that a lot of the comedies that we really love, they were normally comedians on the rise, but they weren't necessarily megastars yet. They were coming out of comedy troupes, they were coming out of SNL,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't commanding $20 million just to, basically throw their name.
Yep.
But they were draws. So
Yeah.
people liked them and they were excited for them. So it was like, yeah, you could make a comedy for a lot less. Um, and then he goes on to say, will a movie like Police Academy ever get released in a theater again? That movie was probably made for 1 million and had Guttenberg as the main star. So what are your thoughts on that, CP?
Maybe, I mean, we're seeing a lot of evolution in the theatrical release. I think a lot of it depends on what happens with Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think this is an important thing. If Warner Brothers is picked up by Paramount, I think theatrical release is secured. I think if Netflix ends up acquiring Warner Brothers, that could really change the way we watch movies in the future.
That's interesting because Netflix has yet to really make a full bid to just go like full old school Hollywood.
Hmm.
And they've not really gone that route. Neither has really anybody. Disney acquired tons of stuff, 20th Century Fox, in line with this conversation, but they've both been studios forever.
Yeah.
So you're like, they kind of fit, but Netflix doing it would really change the game.
Hmm.
So, Ivor, you did write us a novel, but we're going to read it. So he continues, when I was young, a comedy was a comedy. Hot Dog the Movie, Revenge of the Nerds, Ferris Bueller, and The House Sitter were all comedies, not dramedies or action films with comedy elements, just a comedy. Too many descriptors of what the movie is to get into different searches, different areas. And I kind of
Yeah.
agree with him, which I think, again, we sort of hinted at last week, which was, you know, a lot of these movies, Happy Gilmore is just a comedy movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a place for action comedy, there's a place for romantic comedy, dramedy, but we still need just the classic Revenge of the Nerds,
Yeah.
like just something that's going to make you laugh for 2 hours.
Yep.
I don't know. I agree, Ivor. So thank you. Drucker chimed in and he said, I did get to listen to both podcasts. And yes, D-Man, good catch on the inside joke, LMFAO. Y'all should bring back the OG cast for an episode. We'll get to that. I guess Tacone, the host, can join. And also, I'm still anti CP for his lack of Disneyland visitation. But damn, would I love a Galaxy Quest sequel. So damn it, Drucker. Right when you were about to go anti CP, you pulled it back and agreed with him. So I hate that. Uh, I still hate CP that you haven't been to Disneyland. You should probably just go with me.
I
Have a good
mean,
time.
I don't know. Maybe if they sell Star Wars, I will.
Oh my God. You got to ride that Star Wars ride. It's so dope. And then Drucker continues, can you really do it without Dr. Lazarus, though? R.I.P. Alan Rickman, uh, by Grabthar's Hammer. So thank you, Drucker. And no thank you for agreeing with CP. So our next shout out is to Zarina, who agreed with CP 100% that Friends is the best show of all time.
I mean,
But then Drucker chimed in and 100% disagreed and said he would fight you.
wow.
So this is getting spicy, and I really like it. I'm going to give a little preemptive shout out because CP, I think we're going to talk about this more in depth, but I want to give a shout out to Danielle who invited us, and I am going to the Cosm Theater in LA to watch an epic showing of The Matrix.
Woo woo! I know.
So I'm
dude.
really
We're
excited.
gonna have a good time.
I know. It's going to be a fun night. Probably, I think Steph's coming. Her husband's coming. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Probably grab some food and then go see the movie. But we talked about this, right? The Cosm experience of The Matrix is nuts, and The Matrix, even though I didn't put it on my list a few weeks back of being a movie that I haven't seen that I want to see in theaters, I only excluded it because we talked about it. But really, it was like number one. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait to talk more in depth about it.
I know, dude. How awesome!
And then finally, CP, there is a lot of talk on social about doing an IBC podcast reunion on FCP.
I know, dude. How cool! So, for those of you that don't know, before Dustin before D-Man was lucky enough to join this exciting show, he actually was part of a very successful, famous, influential podcast that changed the
Thank
medium
you.
forever, known as Indecisive by Choice. You can actually go out and you can listen to it on
Yeah.
iHeartRadio. So check it out.
It's there. It's still there. You can find it, I think, in Apple Podcasts. I mean, I don't want to be plugging other podcasts on this show, but it's out there. You just got to do a quick search.
And apparently his co-hosts are all willing to come back, except for Tacone, who didn't respond. So
Yeah, so that's where the chatter is that, yeah, we actually got messages from some of the old hosts of IBC, and it sounds like everybody's down. Might have to make that happen. I don't know how
Mhm.
dynamic we can do with like more than three people on this show because that's a bit of a challenge sometimes. You know,
we might have to do a live episode. That might be the
yeah, we
only
might have to do it
solution.
live. Fuck it, let's do it live. Who was
Right.
that? Bill O'Reilly? That
So
famous clip?
on that note, Mr. Gaston, you're apparently gonna have to fly out here to do a live podcast. Make
Yep.
it happen.
And if we have to, we can plan it around when you're already coming. But we will figure that out. So, CP, that does it for shout outs this week. On that note, I'm going to throw it over to you for box office breakdown.
All right. Thank you, D-Man. It is time for our box office breakdown. So, I don't know the last time you've been to the movies, D-Man. I have been, but I've actually not seen any of these films that are in the top 5 for this week.
Okay.
Number 5, previously number 4, The Long Walk.
Oh, yeah, you talked about this. Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
Yep. Well, it's based on a Stephen King novel. So, Stephen King. There you go. Number 4, previously number 3, Downton Abbey, the grand finale. I know you are probably psyched to go see this, so we'll see what you do.
Well, I'm glad it's making money. I mean, at least as I think, when you're doing a show and then you release a movie, obviously you only have that audience. So at least it's making money. That's good.
No, absolutely. So number 3 this week was previously number 2, and that's The Conjuring Last Rites. That has made upwards of $150 million so
My
far.
God, those movies just print money.
Seriously, man. What a successful franchise for Warner Brothers.
Dude, we should make a horror franchise. Like that's what we should get into.
All right, well, let's
They're
do it.
cheap to make, and if you can make like 8 sequels, then we're set for life.
Seriously. Number 2, the only newly premiering movie last weekend, and that is him.
I didn't like that trailer.
I didn't either. I saw it and I was like, that is not my jam. I just,
I thought the trailer was fairly creative, but like when it did the twist at the end, I just wasn't into it.
yep,
Wasn't
that
my
was.
thing.
I was like, nope.
Yeah, it kind of had me for a second where I was like, "Oh, this looks very stylized, kind of interesting, maybe." And then where it went, I was like, "Nope, don't care."
Yep, I felt the exact same way. And honestly, that sounds to me, I think if it had been marketed separately, like along the way, along the lines of how Weapons was earlier over the summer, I probably would have been like, I'll go check it out. I'm sold.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the misdirect of like dropping the twist at the end of the trailer because it was like it kind of had me thinking it was a different movie, and the twist really threw me off where I was like, "Oh no, that's."
Yep,
I think maybe if they had identified that right out of the gate and then that stylized thing came on, I might have been like, "Oh, that's interesting."
yep.
But they lost me.
And number one was number one last week, and that is Demon Slayer. It's
My
made over
God.
$100 million, and apparently the
They're
fans love
printing
it.
money too. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Yep.
Well, congrats to Demon Slayer and, all the studios involved in the production and distribution because it sounds like you guys are going to make a lot of money.
Right. So when we look at the international box office, just really quickly, it's kind of what you'd expect, The Conjuring, some Toy Story, um, stuff that's already out. There is one movie that actually is dominating in some of the European countries and some of the Middle Eastern countries, and it's called Grand Prix of Europe.
Hmm.
And this is an animated film. And
What?
it's about a mouse with big dreams who seizes her chance to race in the Grand Prix.
That is
And
nuts.
I'm like, I was more shocked because I'm like, how have we not heard about this? It's obviously a family friendly animated movie. You would have thought that, and my
And
understanding is it has not been released in the United States and it's an Italian film. So,
God, part of me sometimes is like, is that all we need for an elevator pitch? A mouse with big dreams to race in the Grand Prix? Like,
boom, that's it.
green light.
Millions of dollars in your
Oh
pocket.
my God, dude, that's nuts. I can't believe that, but I can believe it because it's also kind of cool.
So there we go. That's the box office this past weekend.
All right, well, CP, now it is time to dive into our main topic today, and that is in honor of Batman Day on Saturday, September 20th. We will be talking a little bit of Batman.
Batman.
And for this discussion, I'm very excited because we have a very special guest. Antonio Torres is here. Antonio, how are you doing?
Great, great. How's everybody doing? I'm happy to be on this platform.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping he would bust out like Michael Keaton as our guest, and I'd be like, oh. So sorry, man. No, just no disrespect, but you're not the OG.
I'm not
Batman.
Michael Keaton. Damn.
I'll see if I can get Keaton, but
I dressed
that'll
like
have
him
to
in
be-
1995, if that counts.
I'll tell you what, here's the thing. We are talking the animated movie Batman Mask of the Phantasm today. So we're not talking Batman 89 or Returns. So you're a little out of your league, CP, to think that Keaton would be on this episode.
All right, you're right.
Um,
I should know a thing or two about Batman, apparently.
yeah, you know where we stand on all these actors. But since we're talking Batman Mask of the Phantasm, I wanted to ask you guys just to start. Can we at least acknowledge the influence that Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns have had on the animated series as well as the movies, but in this case, Mask of the Phantasm?
He kicked it all off, man.
Well,
He's
what's
the grandfather? He's the Papa Don of Batman.
and you know what's nuts is when you really think about it. If you go prior to Batman 89, you go back in time and
Name it.
you look at like the Batman with CP, what's
Adam
the
West.
actor's name?
Adam,
Adam West.
exactly, CP.
I mean, we're
Garbage.
talking- But we're talking even if you go pre 89, you're looking at superhero movies. Really, it's just Superman with like a couple other people sprinkled in. So the level to which Batman 89 raised the bar, not only for superhero movies, but for Batman specifically, and took it in this gothic, dark direction that the comics had hinted at for a long time. And then you translate that to the animated series, it's pretty remarkable.
Well, and I think two of the major things are, for one, we had the round yellow bat symbol that Burton designed, which was carried over into the animated series, and Danny Elfman, who did the theme for the movie, did the BTOS theme as well.
I didn't know
Nice.
that. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's actually, if you listen to, it's a certain segment of the theme, it actually echoes the 89.
Yep.
It's not the whole thing because it has this real big crescendo where it builds and builds and builds, but
But it's
like
very
there's a
much a
section,
callback.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a section that it's almost like beat for beat. You're like, oh, that's Batman 89 theme, which is epic.
Yep.
I mean, uh Anthony, we watched Batman 89 over here at my place like what, a month ago, and the
Yeah,
opening sequence just going around the logo and the
that's
music was
amazing.
amazing.
It's something I don't think everybody's ever seen before either, right? It was just so dark. You didn't know. Who would have thought that would have been a Batman movie, right? You look like you're in a cave, and then you roll out, and then, dun, 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 dun. That's amazing.
I know. And then the logo hits. But even when you know zoom in here and you're looking at the animated series. So I mean that's all inclusive, including Mask of the Phantasm. You're also seeing a Gotham that sort of resembles the Gothic version that Tim Burton introduced. It's not quite as Art Deco, but there's like this silhouetted style associated with the animated series, which really harkens back to, that look that Tim Burton was
The
going
very
for.
industrial gothic look that he plays with in 89 is carried over.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
amazing. And I mean, you can even argue the fact that, like, when's the last time you've seen a cartoon like that? And once again, it comes from Tim Burton. When's the last time you've seen a cartoon like that? Point blank.
Batman, the animated series in 1993.
That's
Well,
it,
they
right? Exactly. I mean, nothing else. And I don't even think we'll never get a cartoon like that again, right? Especially with not in today's culture.
Fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but in order to achieve that film noir look in Batman the Animated Series, did you know that unlike most cartoons, they actually drew that cartoon on black canvas? And
I
so,
did hear that, yeah,
yeah,
because that
like
was the
the
only way they could get it dark enough.
right, yeah, so they wanted like dark, like black blacks, and then not only that, but they didn't want like the white to show through. So
Mhm.
the white is added last, which is pretty
Yeah,
remarkable and almost never used. Like you see it with his eyes. But even most of the whites, they're shaded whites. They're not pure,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I thought was interesting.
It's crazy,
So,
dude.
That's crazy.
well, okay, let's jump into our discussion then on Batman Mask of the Phantasm specifically. So, when we're talking about this movie, I think first and foremost, everybody always wants to know where does this rank among even the live action Batman movies? Because this movie has a really special place in Batman fans' hearts, both for being, I think, the first live action, not live action, theatrical release from the
Yep.
animated series, which there were multiple, right, CP?
Theatrically released animated Batman movies.
Yes.
No, this was the only one up until I
Okay, this is the only
believe
one.
2016 when The Killing Joke was released in theaters, which
Okay.
wild.
Yeah, so this, we get a chance here to actually stack this up against the other Batman movies. So Anthony, I'm going to throw it over to you, man. Of all the Batman films, and we got a lot. We got the Tim Burton, the Joel Schumacher, the Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder, and now the Matt
Matt
Reeves
Reeves.
version of Batman. We have the animated series here. Where do you rank this among all of the Batman movies?
Oh man, I'm ready to answer this one. So it's third, and I'm going to give you
Ooh.
the drop down list, right? I think Matt Reeves, he did it, man. He nailed it.
So you're going
He,
Batman at one, the Batman.
the Batman is at one.
Okay.
The Dark Knight is two, and then Mask of the Phantasm is three. Because I mean, I remember getting teary eyed at the end of the Mask of the Phantasm. I mean, it just culminates everything. I mean, we get all perspectives of Bruce Wayne and Batman,
That's
and
one of my favorite parts of the film is that we
then
get a
I
little
mean, at
glimpse
the
of
end,
Bruce.
everything just comes together, right? Because you're seeing the death of Bruce Wayne, right? Because he loses his love, and then we get it, dun dun dun.
Oh,
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps right now. And you see him rise and becoming the Batman.
yeah,
Batman.
and
He is Batman.
so even if we continue that conversation, so you're putting Mask of the Phantasm at three, which is really high because this is an animated film going against the live action versions.
If it was
What?
live action, it'd be one. I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
If
that's
the Mask of the
interesting.
Phantasm was live action, if it was actual actors, it'd be number one. It
Okay.
beat 80. It would beat 89 Batman, I think.
Okay, that is interesting because I mean, speaking on that, do you think that they could ever adapt this to a live action version? It'd be pretty cool if they did, I think.
Been praying for the past 20 years that they'd adapt this to live action.
Well, because there's certain elements from this that were really special to the Batman lore, which is Andrea, his love interest. Uh,
Amazing.
yeah, I think works really well in this movie, as well as the Phantasm. So, which has shown up in both the comics and other Batman media since this release. So, you can assume then that the Phantasm character was so popular that they were like, hey, we got to integrate this into Batman lore. So
Mhm.
I don't know if they were ever to do a live action version of this, like it'd be really cool if Matt Reeves came out and he's like, "That's what we're doing." I'd be
He'd get
like,
an Oscar.
I'd be down. Like, I don't know, because this movie hits. And CP, before we move on, where are you ranking Mask of the Phantasm amongst the live action Batman
All
movies?
right. So when I was at Comic Con 2 years ago, I went to the Batman 80th anniversary panel, which had plenty of the
The
true
Ghosts.
super weights of Batman. The writers from the comic space, from the television space, from the film space, and Michael Uslan, who is the producer who has made every single Batman movie so far. Okay.
Okay.
According to him, he says without a doubt, Batman Mask of the Phantasm is the greatest Batman movie ever made.
Wow.
And I agree 100%.
So you're putting it at one.
I
But I
put it
mean,
at one.
but we're talking about live action, I thought. Or are we just talking about just
No,
movies?
we're talking about ranking Mask of the Phantasm amongst the live action.
So the reason why that works is a couple things. For one, Kevin Conroy is a voice actor. In my mind, Kevin Conroy is the definitive Batman that we've ever had.
Cheers to
He
that.
captures the essence of
Okay.
Batman, the Batman, and Batman, the Bruce Wayne. And the juxtaposition between them, he's the only actor who can seamlessly float between both. And yes, I understand he's a voice actor, but we did see him portray Batman in live action. So he's up there with the rest of the live action Batmans. Two,
Okay.
Bruce Timm as a producer. I think that Bruce Timm has an understanding of the core elements that makes cinematic Batman truly cinematic. Bruce Timm is the executive producer behind the series, and he made BTOS BTOS. And finally, I think that what really makes this a great movie is everything Anthony said about this is a movie about who Bruce Wayne is at a core, and it's actually the only Batman movie where we ever see him be vulnerable and be challenged
Ah,
and be
that is
hurt.
interesting.
Yeah, dude. He cries. He
Hmm.
cries.
I know. That's actually it breaks my heart every time.
And what's
Because
cool is at the time it came out, this was the first time we ever got to see the becoming of Batman, right? This was
Yeah.
now
long before Batman Begins, and the origins of the Batman I think are awesome.
I didn't check this, but I'm wondering out loud here. Is this before Batman Forever?
Yes, it's
Okay, so
between
it's
season 1 and 2 of the series.
Yeah, because I think it came out in 96, right? Or
okay.
95.
Maybe
Mhm.
95.
And then Batman Forever, I think, came out 97, 98.
Can
Don't
we
quote me.
just while we're talking Batman Forever, can we just acknowledge how
No,
awesome it is when that
no.
guy is like, it's boiling acid?
So, Anthony, I'm checking right now. This came out December 25th of 93.
Oh,
Batman Forever
right.
came out in 95.
Okay, there we go. All right, all right.
Well, it's interesting too because okay, so CP, you said this was one. Where would you round out then your other, let's just say four Batman movies? We'll just do five.
Hmm.
Don't
Um,
don't think too hard because James Gunn didn't direct any of them. So
well, yeah, but Anthony's gonna probably have comments on whatever I say here, so I have to be able to back it up. So, Mask of the Phantasm number one. I'm going number two, The Dark Knight. I'm going number three, The Batman. I'm going number four, Batman Begins, and I'm going number five, the Batman '89.
that's a pretty good list. I
You made
mean,
it up, so it's a great list.
you guys know me, so I'm going Dark Knight
89.
at number one. No, I
Batman
love.
and
I mean,
Robin at number 2.
I do love Batman and Robin though. There's a certain charm to that movie that just totally blows me away
I lost so much
because
respect for you right now.
I love
Oh,
I
like
dude, that
agree, dude.
hurts. That
I love the
hurts,
credit
dude.
card. I love the back card or
Ugh.
whatever. I love when they click their feet
Yeah, that's the
together
guy
and
that's
they,
gonna save your life. The guy with the credit card and the rollerblades.
dude,
Get out of here with the nipples.
dude, he was. Think about it though. Did they added the nipples to the right movie because he's dealing with Mr. Freeze. Those nips were probably pretty cold.
Get the hell out of here, dude.
So
I never
I don't
thought
know. I'm
Uma
just
Thurman
saying.
would do a bad job in a film, but you go watch Batman and Robin.
I'm probably so I'm oh man, I love Mask of the Phantasm and it is in my top 5, but I'm probably going to round it out by going with the Batman at number 2, 89 at 3, um Batman Begins at 4, and then probably Mask of the Phantasm at 5.
Nice.
So,
That's pretty good.
what were yours?
I'm keeping the same three I have, and then I'm with CP on the on Batman '89,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
Batman Begins. But my Batman '89 is going to be 4, and Batman Begins is going to be 5.
Gotcha.
So we
So
all
we
have
actually have
Mask of
the
the
same top 5, just in a different
Yeah,
order.
just a little. Someone's a little weird on this
I don't know.
podcast.
I was thinking about swapping out. I really love Batman Returns. I mean, for what it is, it's that darker continuation of Batman '89. It let Tim Burton lean a little bit more into his Tim Burtonness, and in a lot of ways, I think that's honestly probably the superior movie. I mean, the Penguin is disgusting, which is awesome. Doesn't he like bite someone's ear off, and he like eats raw fish, and
He's
he
trying to
like
rape the Catwoman.
yeah,
And
he
he
like
coughs
and he
up that black blood stuff.
Oh, that was
yeah.
nasty. But the reason I don't think Batman Returns is better than the Batman is because it took a couple of villains where Batman, I mean, we had the Joker. We had the original Joker, He took the lead. What a powerful villain.
Well, I mean, okay, speaking of the Joker, he ends up being the main antagonist here in Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Also true.
I mean, do you think he was the right guy to deploy at the end? Because he's kind of sprinkled through as that gangster guy, a little reminiscent of Batman '89. And maybe that's what they were hinting at. But here he comes. And Anthony, do you think in Mask of the Phantasm, he's as intimidating as ever?
Yeah, well, yeah, because at the end of the day, he's always the guy in the background, being the bane of Batman's life, like he was always around.
Mhm.
The woman he loved was being tormented by who? The Joker.
Yeah.
And
And
it kind of comes full circle. And I love the fact that they kind of hinted it that he always knew what was going on. He knew the whole situation because he's
yeah.
chaotic. He's crazy. He's basically the devil, dude. He's just there. He's there. And then when he dies, this is what he wanted because he was going to die with Batman.
Oh yeah. I know, because at the end they blow up the World's Fair. A spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this since '93, that's on you. Um,
Totally on the fans, dude.
yeah. So anyway, they blow up the World's Fair, but I mean Joker's willing to go down with the ship.
Yep.
Oh yeah. No. He's willing to go down with the ship with Batman in it.
Yeah, if it takes Batman too. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Nobody
He's not
kills Batman but the Joker.
well, and I love too, like his obsession with Batman is expressed almost explicitly in this film. There's a scene where he basically says as much, where he's like, all I want is to get Batman. And you're like, that is his obsession. He really doesn't care that much about other stuff, especially in the animated version. He's just here to try to take this guy down. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I mean, okay. So you got Nicholson, we have Mark Hamill here, and you have Heath Ledger as the Joker, those being, and then you have Romero, but like those being the obvious like Joker versions. I don't even think it's close. I think Heath Ledger's version is my favorite version of the Joker, but a lot of people really love Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill in the animated series was great. I think it goes Heath Ledger then Mark Hamill, and then Jack.
I
Jack was
think
amazing.
what I love about Mark Hamill's version of the Joker is kind of the same thing I love about Kevin Conroy as a voice actor. He's able to go from comedic, funny, goofy Joker that we've seen time and time again throughout Batman canon to dark, twisted, terrifying Joker seamlessly, like on a beat. And that's insane because I don't think anyone else really does it to that level. Like, definitely Heath Ledger is very much a creepy Joker, but the way Hamill does it, like in the middle of a conversation, he can twist it so dark and then pull it back to this comedic clown, like it's brilliant. And I mean, I think he's the best.
I agree with you, CP, but I'll take it like kind of from what you're talking about. I dare say Heath Ledger took his notes from the animated
Oh,
series
absolutely.
because you see it in the Dark Knight, where he does that trend. Not as good as Mark Hamill,
Hmm.
not as good as Mark Hamill, but you see that transition of laughter, joking, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, I thought we were kidding around. All of a sudden, he wants to take a pool cue up my ass.
Yeah. Well, they actually have a scene in Mask of the Phantasm where Joker does switch like that. He's talking, I can't think of the character's name, but the guy that's like using the breathing mask,
Hmm.
the gangster when he's older, and he like grabs the Joker and they literally like displace the background around the Joker's head with red. And essentially they have him switch and he like throws this guy's hands off and then real quick he turns back into that laughing, but like for a second he like snaps. He's like, "Oh." And you really get that sense that this guy can turn on a dime depending on what's going on. But of all those Jokers, honestly, who has the best Joker laugh? It's probably Mark Hamill.
Did you guys ever see
Yeah.
the footage? Oh, because originally Tim Curry was cast as the Joker for BTOS.
Oh, I didn't know
Who?
that.
And there's actually
Tim
like,
Curry.
yeah,
Who's that?
He is the I'm trying to think of a
he's
Rocky
the
Horror Picture
bellhop.
Show.
He's the
Oh yeah.
bellhop in Home Alone 2. He's the butler in Clue. He's the
Yeah.
Okay.
clown in It.
Oh,
Um,
okay, all right.
he has a very distinct voice, and there's actually you can find it online. The audio of Tim Curry's recording as the Joker, and he's good, but like it doesn't feel right. And apparently they started with Tim Curry, and they're like, nope, 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 and they went back and they ended up calling Hamlin,
Okay,
and they're like, that's the guy.
that's the guy. Okay, got it. Thank you for that.
Oh, I mean, he's perfect. Yeah, he nails it. Can I also say I love how when they do the WB logo at the beginning of the movie, Bugs Bunny just happens to like pop out behind the WB logo.
I think Warner Brothers they have to bring him back.
I know. I don't know
I
why.
loved him.
I love how they include that as like that's part of just WB.
I
Like not
was
even Batman, just WB.
I was kind of disappointed though that Mask of the Phantasm does not do what they do with the BTOS intro, where the WB logo like fades into the
One of those
police blimp.
ships. Yeah, like
The
Yeah,
blimp,
because
yeah.
that's just iconic animated Batman.
true. I mean, it does still have that intro though. So it's just tweaked for the movie. It's like the cityscape instead
Yes.
of because in the animated series intro, it's the cops chasing Batman, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Where in this one they're just sort of like, it almost looks like a drone like passing like the skyline.
yeah.
But it's still pretty epic. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. But okay. So let's talk a little bit about the movie, which I think the heart of this movie is actually the love story. Which is interesting because that's usually not a big part of like as
Any
Bruce Wayne
Batman
and
story?
well, he always has like a love interest, but he never really falls in love. And this is like that, like you said, it's this Bruce Wayne who's really vulnerable. He's trying to find out his direction in life, and yet he comes across um, you know, I think it's a cemetery, he comes across Andrea,
Hmm.
Andy, who he's essentially, talking to his parents and she's talking to her mom,
Yeah.
and they sort of connect and bond over that. And I think this love story really works. I don't know. I mean, Anthony, you and I have watched this movie together.
Yeah.
Um, What are your thoughts? I love it.
I think they used it as a tool. Really, the love story was great, but it's great because it's used as a tool because, we were talking about a grown man, right? This is Bruce Wayne, not the kid who lost his parents. I mean, obviously it scarred him, and that takes him on that pathway to become Batman. But you see it as a grown man as like, he has this one last chance to escape being because we all know he's brooding, right? Batman broods. Why? Because his world has been demolished and crushed. So what does he have? He has justice. Or in the Batman they call it vengeance, right? He has this criminal element that he has to take care of. But before that, I mean, you really see it like the last hope, and it's a woman, it's his angel, it's his guardian, it's his saving grace, if you could say. And it
It's
gets
ironic you would say that because she tells all of her victims that she's the angel of
oh,
death.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's kind of not only torn, but then you find out that she's become everything that he's
I know.
against.
Yeah, like that's what's heartbreaking at
And
the end.
he can't now, he can't love her because she's a murderer.
Yeah,
She's a murderer, and he does let him he does let her leave, like.
yeah.
And then now, but that's where he becomes what he becomes, unfortunately.
Well, and I
Well, and
think that that's kind of the interesting too, right? She is another foil of Batman in the sense that this is Batman to the extreme, right?
Yeah,
Without the rules, without the code of justice that separates Batman from the rest of Gotham City, right? He would
exactly.
be the Phantasm.
right. And they even look similar. I mean, throughout the movie, they're actually confused as the same two characters. Obviously the cops don't realize that there are two characters, but like even the Joker gets confused at one point, until he's like, oh, that's not Batsy, you know.
Yeah,
But even more so, I think they hint twice in this film that it's realistic that Bruce was considering giving up the cape and the cowl, maybe to go enjoy love.
well, he
You
proposes
know,
to her.
right? Yeah, like so he literally steps into a role here where, even though when he's young, he's sort of finding himself as Batman simultaneously as he's falling in love. The movie suggests that at some point he'll have to pick one of those routes. And I think, like you said, he proposes. So
and
he does pick, a happy life.
and I
He's
think
like,
that's what we're talking about right now is what makes the movie great. This is what makes the movie great, because then what's it lead to? I mean, it leads to that iconic when he dons the cape and the cowl, and Alfred, for as you can see, his father is shocked because he knows Bruce Wayne is dead
yeah,
when he puts on that cape
Mhm.
and cowl. Bruce Wayne's
dude,
dead.
that surprise face from Alfred when Bruce
Oh,
turns around as Batman and he sees him for the first time and he's almost
monumentous.
terrified. Like
Yeah, I think
Alfred
he's
is like,
terrified and
"Oh,
sad because he lost his son.
Mhm.
yeah." I mean, he's always been Batman's father figure, and even in this, he suggests that his parents would want him to find happiness. But Alfred, even if you look at the live action versions, is always that guy in Bruce's life who's like, "Listen, life is more than fighting criminals at night and spending your days trying to figure out how to make that happen." He's
Yeah.
like, "It
Yeah.
can be so much more." And he's that guiding light for Bruce, and he does that here as well. Even though he's, other than Dark Knight Rises, he's usually always there behind Batman to have his back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. 1993. Did either of you guys actually see this movie in the theaters? Because I did.
I did.
I did not. Did you, Anthony?
Yeah, I did. Montebello, AMC.
Nice. Well, how was it seeing it on the big screen, all the way back then? Because we're
Well, as
talking
a
like,
child, it's just you go from seeing it on the. Remember, we grew up with the box set TVs,
oh yeah, dude, I remember those.
and you're just enamored because
Heavy as
it's
hell.
big screen. You're just looking at all the action going off. Then him jumping off the buildings is so much more intense. It
I
was
mean,
amazing.
if they re-released it now, I'd probably go again. I think I went with my friend Shula. We went to the theaters to go see it, and it was really exciting, I think, because for me, I had never seen Batman on the big screen. This is actually my first experience.
Hmm.
I didn't see 89 or Returns on, in the theater. So it was a lot of fun. And I remember the movie actually had I don't know how to describe it, CP, but it had a quality to it that made it feel bigger than a single episode of the show. Because, like, the animated series, particularly early on, they had a couple story arcs. I know Two-Face was one of them. Even I think the Joker had like 2 episode arcs or whatever. But for the most part, it was fairly episodic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the idea that you were going to get this almost 2 hour look at one storyline, one complete arc was also really fun because
Yeah.
we love the animated series. And why not? It still hits today. You watch
Yeah.
all the episodes, you're like, man, it's amazing. But I don't know, there was something about that quality. So for instance, CP, I know you're probably not interested in this, but Anthony, you probably are. They just released a trailer for the new Star Wars movie called Mandalorian and Grogu. And one of the complaints about this trailer is that it feels like another episode of the show. So a lot of people are like, if that's all they're going to do is just put out the same style of thing that we got on television, why is it going to the big screen? And they didn't hint at the story and they didn't really reveal too much in this first sort of teaser trailer, but that was the impression I got. And it always blows my mind because if you're going to bring something to the big screen, I feel like it needs to be bigger, more impactful, and probably have a bigger arc to it. And I feel like that's what Batman Mask of the Phantasm achieved. So, Anthony, did you see that trailer? And do you agree with that criticism of Mandalorian and Grogu?
No, I think you're way fucking wrong on the Star Wars Grogu trailer. I think it was amazing. Was the trailer forced? Yes, but it was everything I wanted.
Well, they
And
are
I
going
think,
to the big screen, so I
and
mean,
it's just a sliver of cheesecake. You know what I mean? Wait for the actual main trailer to come out.
all right. Yeah, I think you're right. We got to give them a little bit more grace because it does not reveal the story. So I don't
Mhm.
know what the trailer looks like for Batman Mask of the Phantasm. It could have had this vibe though that it was just like, you know, one big episode on the screen. But because they did such an exploration into Batman's origins, into his love story and really sort of giving Bruce that epic choice that most Batman movies do at some point where he chooses to be Batman. Again, Dark Knight Rises. What are you doing? Um, I don't know. It just felt like this movie
He went to Paris.
superseded. It superseded the animated series.
Now,
So on that note, yeah.
if I remember correctly, I think the Phantasm trailer actually does the show or the movie justice. It shows a lot of action. It shows the Phantasm and kind of adds a little bit of a horror element. And I think Stacy Keach, who
He
was the
is.
voice of the Phantasm, does the narration. So it kind of has that movie trailer quality that we expected from the 90s. Sorry. So go ahead.
Well, on that note, I was just going to ask you guys then, do you think you need to have seen either any previous Batman content or need to read the comics, or for that matter, even have seen the animated series in order to enjoy this movie?
Absolutely not.
I agree with CP.
I
And
think I think if you are in any way interested in Batman or comic book stuff and you see that trailer, you're like, I'm there.
Popcorn, please.
because I don't know, to me, I do think this movie stands on its own without needing any previous knowledge of Batman. You could honestly, if you've never even heard of Batman, I bet you could flip this movie on and still find it entertaining. I mean, you're going to have some concept that it's like a comic book movie, but other than that, and again, sort of looking at this Mandalorian and Grogu, like, is it a continuation of a story that you have to have previous knowledge of, or is this sort of more standalone? Because sometimes when you separate those two mediums, television and film, if you need previous knowledge in order,
Hmm.
like for instance, they're coming out with a Peaky Blinders movie. I'm sure it's going to be very rewarding for those people who watch the show. But if you've never seen the show, can you really enjoy the film? I'm guessing no.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a pretty good point. But I wanted to take a little back about when we were talking about the Phantasm, about, well, how we were talking about if you need to see the show. You don't, because I mean, if you think, I was thinking about it. I've never thought about this before. The Joker stories there. We get the origin story of the Joker that's also built up in the film,
Yeah, that's
and that
that
was,
too.
and I never thought about it, but that was
Good
actually pretty
point.
amazing. And because you see how grotesque he was as a gangster, and then he just turns it up as the Joker. Wow, I was thinking about it right now. Yeah, yes, you don't need to see any episodes. You're locked in, and you're in for just a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think because all of those elements, they all build on each other throughout the film. I just don't think it requires any previous or prior viewing. So I don't
But
know.
you need to keep Star
That's how
Wars
you should
and
do
Grogu
it.
out of your mouth.
Oh, you know what I really loved in this movie? I loved when they go on their date at the World's Fair. It totally reminds me of like Disney, like Disneyland's Tomorrowland, or even like the New York's World Fair from
Didn't
like,
it? I've never been to the New York World Fair, but it did, didn't it? I was like, oh,
yeah, or like remember in Men in Black, like at the end they have the spaceships and they're actual spaceships. I'm like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Like that's where they were.
Mhm.
doesn't the Joker? Doesn't he? Doesn't he pinch the machine wife's ass, and a piece of it comes
Yeah,
off?
dude, the Joker's such a creepy dude, man.
He
Like
is, dude.
he's like literally like giving people toxins. He like I think he like pulls off a piece of that robot's skin and then he like puts it in his pocket. Like such a
What
weirdo.
was it? Her cheeks, or was it her cheeks?
No, I think I think the first one's her cheek. The second one is like her ass.
Okay, yeah, but if you go back to what you're saying, how crazy is he's playing house by himself
I know. Yeah,
in
he's
a
just like living in this place. He's and then doesn't
yeah,
he
dude.
he kicks the dog. He's like, "Oh, my terrible security."
He's crazy. Imagine seeing that in real life. Hey, what's up? How you doing? And this guy just kicks a dog. Just Jesus.
He's such a weirdo. I mean, and he always is in any iteration. Like I always remember in Batman 89 where the Joker he like fries that guy at the gangster table.
Yeah.
And then after everybody like walks out, he starts
Oh
talking to
yeah.
him. And then he like breaks his neck as a skeleton and then he's like he just like looks at the camera and he's like, "Ooh, oop,
That
oop."
freaked as a kid. Yeah, that would freak. That terrified me.
I'm like, "What a weirdo." And I mean, obviously like Heath Ledger's Joker, the way he's incredibly menacing. But I think the thing that really like with everybody with that version of the Joker, why he's so incredible is because he literally doesn't care about things like money. Things that we all, would be like, oh, everybody's got a price. And it's like, well, what if like this guy doesn't have a price? What if he just doesn't care?
I
And he
think
doesn't.
that's what's similar between the Dark Knight and this Joker. They
Yeah, he
don't
doesn't
care.
care.
They don't
He-
care about money. The Joker's suit is what he made it himself. They
well,
couldn't
even
find out
in
where he bought the thoughts. The Joker in the Phantasm, he's living by himself in a broken down Disneyland place. Like they don't care. They do care about the Batman. They do care about chaos and disrupting his world.
Yeah, because even in this movie, one of the gangsters, I think he comes to Joker and he offers him like $5 million, at least straight up, and he says like you'll get more money later. And the Joker's like, I don't even care about that. Like he literally says that. He's dismissive of the money. He's like, anything you guys think I want, I don't want it. I don't care. All I want is to fuck up Batman's world.
And isn't that the most dangerous kind of enemy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah.
you can't predict. They become unpredictable. You can't, if you lay a trap for somebody, right? Like you use their daughter against them, you're like, oh, well, they're probably going to behave a certain way. The Joker's probably like, I don't care, kill my daughter. Like everybody dies, everything burns. And so, yeah, I don't know. He's pretty wild. But on that note, I don't know if you guys knew this. Um, Mask of the Phantasm was originally planned as a direct-to-video movie. However, after the success of the animated series, they decided to give it a theatrical release. But because this decision came so late in the production process, it's one of the reasons why it was a box office flop. So this movie did not do well in the theaters. But then apparently they released it on VHS or direct to video, and they sold millions of copies, and the movie was a massive hit.
Well, it seems weird the decision to release it on Christmas Day,
Yeah, that is
right?
weird.
Like I would have thought this is like, they should have been like, hey, like release this first week of summer when all the kids are out of school, you know.
Yeah.
Like just because a Christmas Day release seems kind of odd for this movie.
Yep.
I
It
agree
is.
with you, CP.
And not only that, I mean, you could probably rock this around Halloween or something. Maybe the
Hmm.
theater.
Halloween, yeah, but I don't see our Batman chilling with Saint Nick. That's just not a good mix.
Nah, I think maybe the Sub-Zero. You bring in Mr. Freeze, maybe winter, that the
Yeah.
snow vibes, it feels a little bit better. But yeah, apparently it's sold millions of copies, and it is now considered, as we discussed amongst ourselves, one of the definitive pieces of like Batman content you should definitely watch.
Hmm.
So does it fall into like a cult classic?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
Absolutely.
Right? Because it
maybe
didn't do good in
even
the box. It didn't do good in the theaters, but then later everyone kind of caught on to it.
yeah, I would say so. I mean, the thing with cult classics that's always so much fun is it feels like, especially early on, there's like a small community of people who really like something. And I don't know, because of the way the animated series took off, you're probably right, because it's like so many people knew the animated series, but they'd never seen this movie.
Hmm.
So I don't know, which is pretty cool. And then the only other thing I wanted to bring up was I don't know if you guys knew this, but the creative team basically stated that they used the storytelling structure from Citizen Kane to tell this movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they're using flashbacks and essentially revealing more about the character through layered storytelling as it goes on, as opposed to just telling things linearly. And obviously, Citizen Kane was a pioneer in some of these early storytelling techniques, and they use that as inspiration, which is pretty
That's mind
remarkable.
blowing. That is mind blowing.
So now I have a greater appreciation for Citizen Kane because I never really watched that movie, but now I might.
I've seen it twice. Once it filmed for like my film class in college, and then like probably later on after that. But now I got to rewatch it because it's
I
like a
probably need
whodunit
to too.
spook spook kind of film, right?
Yeah, Rosebud.
All right.
Yeah, like what happened? I do have one question for both of you guys. How excited on a scale from 1 to 10 would both of you be if James Gunn directed a Batman movie?
Oh,
So,
dude.
He's
Anthony,
incapable of doing that. I'm already scared about the whole Batman and Robin movie coming out because Batman doesn't joke around.
I
He's not
mean,
catching one-liners.
him
He
and the
hates
Joker
it when
might be chilling.
Superman does it. He in the JLU, he
Oh yeah,
Batman would. And the scary thing is that's the Batman we're gonna see.
hundred.
We're gonna see the JLU Batman. That's gonna be James Gunn's Batman. Mark my
100%
words.
agree with Anthony. He's absolutely right. We don't want to see Batman making jokes and laughing at farts and
That
Singing
is
on a
funny though.
microphone. Remember when he had that bet with Zatanna in JLU about singing, and then I don't want to see that Batman.
yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the Batman we're gonna see.
Which ironically, actually, very, very like sweet nugget. So, third episode of Justice League, where
Okay.
Batman gets on stage and sings the song,
Yeah, you know
Am
the
I
episode I'm
Blue?
talking about.
That was the song in Batman Sub-Zero when they call Barbara Gordon's roommate. She's listening to that song.
No way. That's a
Yeah.
deep cut right
Oh,
there,
Yeah,
that's
dude. I
dude.
was
interesting.
like, what? That's like hardcore Batman facts right
That's
there. So,
awesome. I didn't know that. That's
so
crazy.
nice reference, by the way.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I didn't know that. I'm gonna YouTube that right now. That's awesome.
All right. Well, before we go, now we're just gonna do some rapid fire stuff.
Let's fucking go. Hold on. Let me get my gun.
All right, here it is. Anthony, we'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
Favorite versions of Gotham City? Go.
Matt Reeves Batman and 89.
So you like the Gothic. You don't like the realistic look that Nolan brought to it.
No, because I mean it's supposed to be this dark gritty thing. And why is Batman wasting his time trying to? Because it's Gotham. He has to try and save it. It's not supposed to be clean. It's not supposed to look nice.
I know it is a little too pristine in the Nolan version. I mean, I know I get what he was going for, which was like, what if like a vigilante was going around fighting crime in Chicago? But
Yeah, I need to see
yeah,
the hookers on the street. I need to see the drug dealers. I need to see this menacing thing. I wouldn't want my kids out there kind of vibe, you know?
yeah, for
Let's
sure.
show some love to Schumacher and blacklight rave Gotham City
Okay.
that we get in
Yeah.
Batman Forever, right?
You know what? All right, I'll give you that one. That was the best scene. When boom, you just see him come out. They were raving in the streets. Yeah, you're right. You're right, CP.
I've never been to a city like that. I'll tell you that. So definitely fun in a fantasy movie. I know for me, I think Matt Reeves, the Batman, has, in my opinion, the best portrayal of Gotham, where it's this really dark, bleak place. Um, and even though I do love what Nolan was doing, that's my favorite version of a Batman movie. I do think the Matt Reeves Gotham is like the best definitive sort of version of how that looks. And that even extends into the Penguin, the series, which was incredible. But I do got to give a tip of the cap, like you said, CP, to both Schumacher and Tim Burton for bringing very unique, different versions of Gotham to life. I enjoyed both of them. Honestly, is it weird to say, but like as a kid, I think my favorite Batman movies were Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
I mean, Forever was mine when I was a kid, hands down.
Like
Love.
I don't know if it's just me, like those were the action figures that I had for Batman. Like I loved those versions of Batman as a kid. Obviously they don't age well, both as you grow up and start to appreciate it, and then now just looking back, like even if you showed those to a kid today, I don't think they aged well. But I mean, those were the versions I loved. So I got to give a tip of the cap. I mean, as far as Gotham's concerned, I like that every person had a very distinctive style.
Mhm.
They don't feel like the same place. They feel really unique.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun. And then that extends even to Batman the Animated Series, which in this case, right, is an extension of the gothic sort of industrial version of 89 and Returns, but also adds a real sort of film noir, uh, I don't know what you'd
Art
call it.
Deco quality that is like a
Yeah.
throwback to the original comic, kind of.
So
Oh,
I think
yes.
that works really well too. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Matt Reeves. I'm going to agree with you, Anthony. I think that's probably for me the definitive version of Gotham, and I'm glad that's the one we're living in now. So that makes me really excited.
Hell yeah.
CP?
Oh, so I love Nolan's version. The only problem I have is that each Nolan film, the Gotham City is distinctly different. I
Oh, that's
wish he
interesting.
had kept like one overarching version of Gotham that every movie took place in.
Yeah, because it's like in Batman Begins, they have sort of a different skyline. There's the train that's going around and like the Narrows, but none of that is referenced in Dark Knight. And then you almost get a much more like Coast version of Gotham and Dark Knight Rises, where it's like these houses,
Mhm.
almost like you're in Brooklyn, or where's Spider-Man from? Queens?
Queens.
Yeah. So like almost like you're in like Queens. I think they filmed it in like Pittsburgh, but it has a very like different feel to it. And they never sort of revisit the same places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ocean came out of nowhere in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like, where did
Yeah. Yep.
where did this come from?
Yeah. All the exterior shots in like Dark Knight, I mean, you're just not seeing that anywhere.
Yeah. And I think that that's the one disadvantage to it. So I'm with you. I'm Matt Reeves Batman takes the cake.
Wow, Matt Reeves, well done. Establishing a definitive version of Gotham.
I'm about to pop that on.
I know that is a good. I can't wait for the next one. I mean, is it true? I've heard that Jake Gyllenhaal might be playing Batman. I mean, we could break that news here
Can
on
we
this
break? Let's
podcast.
yeah. Can someone look that up? Because that's what I went to bed with. I was kind of a little taken aback. I mean, let's see what happens.
Well, my understanding from looking it up was that he has auditioned. He also is quoted as saying it's one of the iconic roles, and he would, of course, do it. And that it's been greenlit, although I don't know that it's 100% decided, but they would cast him. So depending on, I think, the other auditions.
I just don't see him being mean. Like I see him being weird, right? He can play that weird dude, like weird kind of
Yeah, like Nightcrawler or whatever it was
Yeah,
called.
like that. I just don't see him like a person of justice.
Well, he was in Prince of Persia and he got pretty ripped. I mean, I'm sure he could bulk up again and look the role, but yeah, like can he really play that like not weird, but like tortured Bruce Wayne, but also, Batman who apparently is going to be cracking jokes with the Joker. Uh,
Yeah, shit.
So I'm reading an article. This is from the or from Forbes. Sorry, not the Hollywood Reporter. So, and this has a short list of who James Gunn said he would like to be playing
Okay.
okay,
Batman.
there we go.
But it's not. I mean, obviously, I don't see it saying definitively that he is the choice.
Yeah, I
Well, it's
think
not
he's
out
like,
yet.
He's just on the list.
yeah, but
Okay.
I think he's greenlit because I think James Gunn, at least from what I read, if that was who it was, he'd okay it. Like,
Mhm.
and
Hold on.
CP,
Let's get on Instagram real quick. Let's get on James Gunn's page real quick.
well, CP loves James Gunn and probably would be fine with whatever he decides to choose.
You're a
That is
James
true.
Gunn
I'm a
fan,
huge
CP?
James Gunn fan. Every James Gunn movie I've ever seen, I despise.
Okay, good. We're kind of on the same page.
I don't
The
know. I like
Peacemaker
Superman.
season 1 was actually pretty good, but other than that, I mean,
I like Superman. I don't want to hate.
which the new Superman?
Yeah, that's James Gunn.
I mean, it was good, but it's no Man of Steel.
Oh my God, are we doing this, CP?
No, no, no. Let's save this for another episode. Let's
Yeah,
save this for
don't get me started on James Gunn's Superman.
yeah. Well, you know what? We'll say for the next episode if you guys invite me back.
All right. Well, I mean that really does it for the discussion on, Batman Day and Mask of the Phantasm. I mean, CP, I think you had a little gripe that you wanted to throw out there.
Well, okay. I mean, this whole Batman Day thing, for the past couple years, I think Warner Brothers has done an awesome job of partnering with movie theaters to get Batman movies back in the theaters. A few years ago, they only did the Nolan trilogy. Then they did Batman 89. Last year, they kind of it was kind of a rotation of different Batman films depending on where you went. I was really disappointed, first of all, that they re-released Batman 89 a month before Batman Day, right?
Huh.
In
Yeah.
August, which was weird.
Who
But
dropped
then-
the ball on that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then for Batman Day,
Bugs Bunny.
They only put out Batman Forever in Cinemark theaters. So if you weren't around a Cinemark, you couldn't go to the theater and
And
watch
I'm
Batman.
not. Everything around me is AMC.
Yeah.
So I did not go see any Batman movies in the theaters this year for Batman Day. Damn
And
it.
I was so bummed
Warner
because I was like,
Brothers.
it's Batman Day. I will be there. I will watch whatever's playing because it's a Batman movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they-
colossal failure. WB.
They really dropped the ball. But all right, guys. Well, CP, I'm glad you got that off your chest. I'm glad you and James Gunn are friends again because he's doing Batman now.
Well, he's probably to blame, man. He's the
Yeah,
guy.
maybe.
Probably the guy, right? It was-
Do better, James Gunn. We want Batman movies for Batman Day.
yeah, exactly.
Well, that does it then. Anthony, wanted to extend a big thank you to you for coming on the show. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
for reals.
Yeah, thank
We've
you,
talked
man.
about it in multiple episodes where I'm like, oh, should we have him on for the Snyderverse episode? Should we have him on for this? But Mask of the Phantasm felt right. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you could make it. And I don't know if you have any final words that you want
No,
to
just
throw
want
out.
to say thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast, and then I definitely want to come back for this whole Man of Steel Superman discussion if you guys have one.
Yes.
I think I got some notes for James Gunn.
I mean, if we do an episode
better.
on that, I might just sit here and watch. It'll be like I'm listening to the podcast live.
bring your popcorn.
So yeah, I don't know. CP, you have pretty strong thoughts on that, and I know Anthony, you do too. So that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's schedule that up.
All right. Well, thanks again, man, and we'll have you back on.
All right, guys, you guys have a great day.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
All right. Well, CP, that does it for our episode this week. It was a lot of fun talking Batman in general, but specifically Mask of the Phantasm. To all of our listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and be sure to continue the conversations both in the comments and DMs. We love hearing from all you guys, and shout outs is always one of my favorite moments on the show. So you can follow the show at filmmakerscompass.com, where we have a feed of all past episodes, as well as links to our social media, which you can follow at Instagram, which is at FilmCompPodcast or at FilmCompPod. And you can follow me at Big Kid D-Man, CP.
And you can follow me at IndyCal5. Thank you for hanging out and talking Batman with us. We see you back here next week. Until then, keep watching movies.